Welcome everyone back to RB's Toy Box. Today, we got some retro cool going on. Now, if you've been watching this channel for any time, you know how much I love retro tech. Having some old school stuff to do some new cool things. Like, having a communicator from Star Trek that's actually a Bluetooth, right? All that kind of stuff makes me just go, googly. And today is no different. We are reviewing the brand new Camp Snap 8. That's right, it's a Super 8 digital camcorder that you can add to your cool collection. So stay tuned after the intro. We're going to go through this and talk about every button and switch, what it does, show you examples of the filters, and go into great detail with this cool product to see if you want to add this to your collection. Stay tuned after the intro.
1, 2, 3, go! Step into the magic on my fun-filled stage. RB's Toy Box is great for kids of any age. From Star Trek to 18 and retro toys too. Come join on my journey, making videos just for you.
All right, let's get right into it. In the automotive industry, we used to call them retro mods, right? Where you take that old car and you make it in and put some new instrument clusters and bring it really up to modern specification. That's kind of what they tried to do here. Now, I'm going to be going through this review, giving you my opinions. Notice what I said, opinions on it. I am not getting paid by them in any way, shape, or form. I bought this with my own money. And at the time of this video, they were running about 150 bucks. Now, this was on pre-order when I got it. You all know how much I hate pre-orders, but it was so cool. I messaged the company and told them, if you're going to say that you're going to release it, when are you actually going to release it? Because I don't want to be like some of these others that I waited, 6-8 months when they told me it's going to be 30 days. But they said it was going to be released approximately towards the middle of the month. It was actually closer to the end of the month, but I still got it. Once they shipped it, it came really quickly, so I was happy about that. So we've got all kinds of cool features on this, and we're going to get into that. But first and foremost, I want to give you an example of the size. Now, this might be a concern for some people as they are looking at just how big this thing really is. Now, to give you a comparison, this is a Sears Super 8 model that this was probably, pretty closely matched off of back in the day. But just so you get a kind of an idea of size, this thing is much larger than its predecessor, about the same, well, not really, go from there to there. You can see just how much difference there actually is between, the reproduction and this one. And I don't know that it needed to be that big. Again, this is where I'm inserting my opinion, because if you look at the battery life on this, which is 30 minutes, we'll get into that more in specifications in just a moment. And if you watch all the way towards the end of the video, I'm going to be going through each individual setting here on the different filters that are available as well. So make sure you stay tuned towards the end of the video for that. And if you're new to the channel, hey, how you doing? This is RB's Toy Box. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe down below. Share it with all your friends. Let them know that, RB's is over here doing some really crazy stuff. And I've got some big surprises in store for you guys coming up. You want to stay tuned for that, but let's get back into this. So we looked at the size comparison, and to be honest, even my hands, which, I don't have, big old basketball hands or anything, but, they're way bigger than my wife's little hands. And it just comes around to the trigger, holding on to this. It's kind of big. And my wife, I don't know, would be comfortable carrying this around with this size. Not to mention with that 30-minute battery and it only being, it being this big, you could have put all of this, you could have put a big old battery in this thing, but they chose not to. And I kind of get why, but not really. If you got something, you don't want to have it on vacation and only be able to use it 30 minutes, and then you got to charge it for an hour and a half and then for another 30 minutes. They really could have gone bigger. And this is 2025. make it last longer. I mean, this thing is 4K and it goes for 4.5 hours. I mean, let's just face it, you can do it if you really wanted to. And maybe in the next version they will. I hope they will, because it would be worth having that to where you could take it out of your suitcase, kind of make some cool videos, put it back in, not have to worry about constantly charging it up, and be fresh for the next time that you go out. It's almost like, you know, not making sure you got enough film in the camera. I mean, maybe that's what they were going for. Come on. All right, so let's go through some specs. Now, this has 2.7K. No, it's not 4K because it's a Super 8 camera. Let's face it, it doesn't need 4K. You're not going out there trying to take high resolution imagery, but it does do a decent job of what it's videoing, right, at 2.7K. It has an 8x digital zoom. The zoom quality is okay. I mean, it does zoom, but it's not like gonna zoom in and let you, you know, read something ever so closely. I hope I didn't scare you. But that's kind of what you're looking at with, you know, it trying to replicate an older piece of equipment. Now, when you click these buttons right here, you hear them. I mean, in the audio, it has a built-in speaker. Doesn't have the capability of doing Bluetooth or an external mic or anything like that. It would be kind of cool if it did in the future. You listening? But these are over here where you can do zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. But you can definitely hear that noise when you go to zoom in. Now, it took me a minute to figure out, well, what's that clunk noise in there? But that's what it was when I was going in there and zooming in. It was making the noise. It has 5 filters in it, a standard, which is not really a filter, it's just the screen. It has 2 vintage settings. One's like a Vignette or whatever the name of it is, and then the other just has a little bit of a brighter sepia kind of look to it. And then it has a black and white and then analog. Analog is like the little speckly stuff, and you know, where it looks like hair on the on your film when you're watching it or whatever. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. And that is the charm of this particular camera. So it has those filters, which are right here. Those are your filters. This one is your on and off dial. Excuse me, I'll try to cut that out. Your on and off dial, and then this one is where you set the different, is that right? No, I got it wrong. This one's the one you set for the different filters. This one is for aspect ratio. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, if you're on Instagram or whatever, you can totally switch this to 9:16 and do all your Instagram footage and stuff. Switch it to 1:1 and do your Facebook stuff. So it's really versatile in that respect, that it gives you the capability to change that screen size. And it does it on the fly, meaning you don't have to turn the camera off and back on each time in order for it to go into its different aspect ratios. Now, let's look at a couple of really cool things on this. We talked about the resolution, the zoom, the filters, the aspect ratios. Now, there's no playback screen, but it should. Now, here's the reason why I say that. In here is a little bitty TV, a monitor, basically. But it doesn't have the capability of playing back through that monitor. Now, I get it, this is not a 1990s version with a little, you know, flop out on the side or thing, but it could, if they really wanted to, you know, maybe 8.2, guys, come on, think about it, that it should have the playback in here. Only because, you know, if you're out there on vacation or whatever, you're going to find out, and I get it maybe from the vintage standpoint, that, you know, you're not going to find out what you actually videotaped until you go to, you know, process the film anyway. But I mean, this is 2025. If you're trying to bring us up to kind of the Super 8, super cool, you want to try to put a couple of those modern conveniences in there. After all, you already got the aspect ratios in there. So in my opinion, being this is digital and not a straight through view like this one is, where you're actually looking all the way through, well, there's no reason you can't use this little bitty TV monitor in there as a playback. My opinion. Now let's go into that a little bit further by talking about this little TV screen in here. It's bright. I mean, it's like, you know, after you're like in here for, I use the word light too much, I think. and I'm in here, and it's bright. I mean, it like hurts your eyes after a minute or two, and you've got to back that off and, you know, blink a little bit and then go back in. And it only works when you have the trigger pull. It does not have an auto lock or anything like that. What's that mean? No selfies unless you're holding it up like this and doing your selfie. Now I'm going to show you Rick's trick here in just a minute for that. But just keep that in mind that this only works when you have it turned on and you pull the trigger and then you're recording. And then it has the camera view in here in a little bitty TV screen. Now, what's that look like? I've seen some folks on Instagram and stuff kind of put their phone up here and look at it. It looks as bad as you think it does. It literally looks like putting your face up against a CRT with all of the bright pixelization and everything that you would get from that. Now, it's 150 bucks. So I get it that they maybe cut a corner here or there. But that's one of the things that they really shouldn't have chinched on. I'm just saying. But functionality wise, yes, you can see it. Yes, it's in there. Yes, you can see the counter. But it is super bright, so really more than 30 seconds, your eyeball feels like it wants to jump out and run away. It has a micro SD card that comes with it, which is really cool, by the way. So you can literally take it out of the box, charge it up, and immediately go to it without having to get on Amazon and get you a little SD card. So that was kind of cool that it came with it. And then, of course, it uses the analog dials, as you see over here. It has the analog, you know, zoom in and out kind of feel to it. This right here at the top doesn't do anything. Now, here's another one of my suggestions in case Snap folks just happen to be watching it. This needs to slide out, right? And use the same kind of shoe as we do for our, you know, the rest of our equipment that we've got. There's no reason that that should not be able to slide right in there. I mean, it's just a piece of plastic. And I mean, it does not slide out. So if it slid out and was a shoe, then we could put, you know, a camera up there and make it more versatile for different usage. Because when you go outside and you try to videotape at night, you got to hold it up like this. When you have that there that could totally be used. So a little oversight on that. I get it that they made it look like it's supposed to go there, but it would have took 30 seconds to actually make it go there. So I don't get that. But okay, so we talked about the viewfinder in the back. We talked about I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what size the little thing in the front end. Let's see if it says it. Nope, it does not. But it uses one of those little digital thingies in here. But it does an okay job. And again, we're going to see that here in just a second. Now, let me show you, before we get into the different filters, my trick for that. This is a rubber band from my wife. It is a very, very loose one because it doesn't take hardly any pressure to push that button in. Very, very light pressure. So that right there, once you turn that on and you put that on here, you can put this on a tripod and then look through it and kind of, you know, dial yourself in and then go make a video of yourself like you're going to see right now. All right, so this is the no filter, right? So this is just a standard view in the 16:9 format. I hope you can hear it well. This is kind of a good test of the microphone to see how well it picks up. Again, it does not have an external microphone. It doesn't have a plug for an external microphone or Bluetooth compatibility or anything for an external mic. But, you know, in a handheld format, depending on what you're videoing, this is kind of the way that you're going to pick up the audio. This is in an enclosed area. We're not outside or anything, obviously, so this is going to be your audio test and standard format. Let's take a look at the next setting. All right, so this is the first of two of the vintage settings. Now, this one, in my opinion, is a little brighter than the other one we're going to see in just a minute. Maybe it's Sepia or something. I don't know what the actual filters names are. I don't think they have names on this particular camera. But if you know what this is technically called in this color scheme, leave that down in the comments below. But this is the first of the 2 vintage themes that it comes with. Let's check out that other filter now. Alright, so this is the other vintage one, a little bit more subdued, maybe a flatter color curve. But again, wanted to kind of give you the down the line examples of what these look like. Let's check out the next one, which is kind of gets, in my opinion, a little cooler between the first and second one, where we're going to look at the analog with all the little speckles on it. Alright, so here we go. So here's the one with all the little speckles all over, make it look like their hair or whatever in it. Of the filters, this one is the one that I like the most because it kind of gives that instant look of the vintage to it. You can look real close and see that it kind of does look digitized. I don't know that they achieved maybe what they were going for completely, but it's not too bad for an out-of-the-box product without having to add filters to it. Again, this is a built-in filter. It's called the analog, and it gives it that kind of analog hair on the camera lens kind of look to it. One of my favorites. I hope you like it too. We got one more setting to take out or check out, and that is the black and white. Here we are. This isn't an I Love Lucy rerun. This is the Camp Snap 8's black and white built-in filter. Very nice. It's very clean in its presentation. But don't take my word for it. Tell me down below what your favorite filter is of these different filters that it comes with. You've got the 2 vintage, of course the standard, the analog, and the black and white as on the little dial on the side that you can check out. This is again the microphone and how it sounds. I'm using that little rubber band on the trigger to lightly push it in so that I can make these videos for you today. But let's go check out, it's got the meters on the side. I want to take a minute and go and look at the 2 extra meters that are on the side. So let's go check that out, but be sure to tell me again down below which one of these filters is your favorite. Now, as you could tell, the audio hopefully came out. The microphone in it is okay, a little tinty, but it's supposed to be, right? It's a old Super 8. It does not have the capability for Bluetooth or for any other type of external mic. Again, it would have been a good idea to make use of this as a shoe with a microphone jack on the side, so we could have put our boom mic on here if you didn't want to do Bluetooth, right? So that is maybe an 8.2 out there, hello, that you guys could maybe come up with, making this more usable and then giving us a way for us to add an extra microphone, because you're going to have a lot of folks out there that are our Instagram folks that are out there doing their, cool little snippet videos, because again, it was designed for that with the 9:16 aspect ratio and the 1:1 and 4:3. That is why this thing was built in a social media mindset, which goes back to the social nature of it, right? How cool does this look? Now, it may not look so cool if, you're a really skinny young lady and not a big old fat guy like me, but, you're out there on the beach or something and you've got this great big old camera, people are going to stop and ask you, man, what is that cool camera? That's the social media aspect of this particular product. Now, I mentioned we're going to talk about the meters. So you have 1 meter over here, and this is letting you know how much you got left on your SD card. When you turn that on, notice the little meter moves, let you know, again, how much room you got. On this side over here, excuse me, is your battery life. Now, I mentioned before, only 30 minutes. I have not run this all the way down to find out how much battery it actually will go, but it is as advertised on 30 minutes. You got all this room, put a bigger, I'm sorry. I just don't get that in 2025 where anything is 30-minute battery. So that's really cool there. I'm going to turn this back off. The only other thing really to show you is the fact that this right here is not metal. It's plastic. And then it has a little piece down here that you could put, a hand strap with. It has a place down at the bottom for your tripod. right? And then the only other thing really to mention is the fact that, well, I think I got it all. Pretty cool. All right, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the episode here with RB's Toy Box. I hope we went into a good enough detail for you to be able to decide whether you want to add one of these cool little gizmos and gadgets to your collection. I have some other things coming up here that I'm going to be reviewing here very soon. I've been getting over this cold and just getting back to where I can make some videos. Did a lot of rearranging with RB's Toy Box when I wasn't doing anything. I'm moving shelves and cleaning stuff. So all the Star Wars stuff is over here, and I freed up some shelves over here for additional franchises. And, I haven't gotten a whole bunch of stuff, but enough to be able to show you some cool things that I've got here again at RB's Toy Box. We're also going to have a visit coming up here very, very soon. It's in January. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but it's going to be a special guest. You're going to absolutely be blown away. And we're just working out the details of that visit, but I'm super, super stoked, super excited, and super honored that this is even a possibility. So stay in tune with that. I mean, it's still a couple months away, but enough for me to get all kind of excited about visitors coming to RB's Toy Box for a very special tour. So stay out there, stay collecting, get you some retro cool stuff, share it with other people. Let people see your collection. What your passion is my passion. Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and share, all that fun stuff. And stay tuned here to RB's Toy Box for some more cool stuff. And we shall see you soon.
Step into the magic on my fun-filled stage. RB's Toy Box is great for kids of any age. From Star Trek to A-Team and retro toys too. Come join on my journey, making videos.